so much for being on the call. I'm super excited to share what I have been learning the past few weeks about social media, marketing, and all that stuff. So I just want to relay all the awesome advice and tips I have been learning from internet marketing pros to help you with your Beachbody business. My name is Jenny Jaucian, and I will be going over some simple steps to overcome social media overload. First and foremost, can everyone hear me? Are you guys all good? Just post yes if you can, and I will continue. Sweet. Okay, so the topics for today are going to be why it's important to master social media, some tips on how to tweak your approach for more eyeballs, and I'm going to mention that term a lot. These eyeballs is because, you know, that's what social media is all about. We just want eyeballs to get people to get to know us, to learn about us more, and to see that we do, in fact, have a product and service to share with other people. How to salvage one piece of content from multiple platforms so you don't have to feel overwhelmed about getting content on your Facebook, on your Instagram, and your blog, and Pinterest, and YouTube. So I'm going to teach you how you can use just one piece of content to save time to put content on all of your platforms that you might have. I'm going to give some time-saving best practices that will help you to become more efficient and more effective in your social media postings, and just some tips on overcoming social media overload and helpful resources to become better at social media. So before I get into all that, let me just introduce myself. My name is Jenny Jaucian. I have been a coach since December of 2013, so it's been almost an entire year. And I still am a personal trainer, but I was also working a serving job. I was also trying to pursue a dancing and acting career. So I was so overwhelmed with my life. Like, I was stressed, overworked, underpaid, underappreciated, and I just didn't know how to have the flexibility and freedom to do what I really wanted to do, which was dancing, professionally dancing at the time. All the while, I felt insecure about my body. Being a personal trainer, you know, there's a standard that you have to have specifically for the gym that I work at, and I just felt a lack of confidence in myself. I felt like I was doing everything right as far as eating and working out on a daily basis, but just my body didn't show how much work I put into it. And so I just felt like I needed a change in my workout regimen to just get that confidence back. As I was watching TV just on a random day, I saw a T25 infomercial, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is something that I need in order to get the results that I'm looking for. Something quick and easy, something that I can do on the side of my personal training that will just, you know, be that one thing that, helps me with, my confidence in myself and to get the results that I was looking for. So before any kind of big investment that I make, I always tend to research a lot. So I went on teambeachbody.com, I looked into T25, looked into Shakeology, and then I saw that there was this coaching opportunity, and I saw that you can earn income just by helping other people with the products. And I was like, okay, this is what I already do. I'm a personal trainer. I love health and fitness, and I love helping my friends and my family. I just, I give tips freely to my friends on how to eat better, what they should do for their workouts, what they shouldn't eat. So I was already doing this, and I saw that you can make a business, but didn't really know anything else about it. I didn't know what challenge groups were. I didn't know anything. I signed up straight up as a coach with a challenge pack, and then I got assigned a coach, and then I realized, okay, I need a coach to tell me what to do. My coach didn't respond to me, so I started looking on YouTube, and I found Scotty Hobbs on YouTube. And that just goes to show how important social media is, because I found him and I related to him, reached out to him, and then, ever since then, Beachbody is now my life. I realized through personal development and through, a good soul searching through this journey that a dance career is something that I don't actually want to pursue. It doesn't give me the passion and purpose that I feel with Beachbody. So now I'm all in with Beachbody. I'm still a trainer, but what I have gained with Beachbody is, the freedom and confidence and passion and purpose to, live every single day with energy and vibrance, and to know that I'm actually making an impact on people. And I soon hope that I will be quitting my personal training job before Summit. That is my goal. I'm going to write my resignation letter in a draft and make sure I don't send it on accident, and send it to them right before Summit. So that's my goal. And also the secondary income is just a secondary bonus to what we do, which is awesome. So to start, I also want to say that I am not a social media expert. I am not some social media guru who knows everything. I have just been learning a lot that I feel that I need to share with you guys so that you guys can help and grow your business faster, easier, more effectively, and less stressful and less overwhelming, so that you can focus on generating a real business for yourself. So we're going to start talking a little bit about strategy, talking a little bit, of the business side of things, because, that's what social media is all about. Is we need to master our business space. This is our business space. We want to grow a business online. Some of you guys might do local events. You guys might do, you talk to people on a daily basis at your job and everything. But I feel like all of us really want an online business so that we can have more freedom and time to spend with our families and friends. So it's important to master our business space. This is where our message is going to come across to other people. And in order to get our message across, we need to understand and strategize in ways so that our message will reach those people who need our help. So it's so important to master social media and really dive into it and just be a sponge to everything regarding your business space. You're going to realize if you're a new coach or you're an old coach, your warm market runs out quickly. Whether you have 100 friends or 1,000 friends, you are going to reach that point where you have invited every person that you know, every relative that you know. Yes, it's recording. And so it runs out quickly, and you need to find ways in order to get people that you don't know to come to you. Your invites become easier because, I want to hear from you guys. Isn't it exhausting or uncomfortable and super awkward when you are randomly messaging a friend of a friend of a friend who you might have 2 mutual friends with, and then trying to find a reason that you're messaging them, right? Like, isn't that just awkward? And isn't it just weird? Like, what if you received that from someone that you didn't even know, and they're just trying to spark up conversation? It's weird, but what if we were able to attract these people to us so that we can just remove that step entirely, get people to come to us and have an easier invite? What if get people who are actually interested in your challenge group already or interested in the coaching opportunity? So we have to understand how we can reach our cold market and bring them into our warm market. The good news is that everything is learnable or outsourceable, which I will get into. So first steps, as a coach, you're going to feel like you need to get everything set up, everything perfect. If you see if you kind of follow all the top coaches, everyone has like a Facebook like page, an Instagram, a blog, they're on YouTube, and they have Pinterest, and they might even be on Google Plus or LinkedIn or whatever. But what everyone suggests you do is to just pick 2 that you want to become a master in and dabble in the rest. Don't worry if you're a new coach to set up a perfect website or set up your YouTube page and have a ton of videos on there. I just highly recommend that you guys become masters of 2 rather than being mediocre in many. And you also have to think about where your audience hangs out. So think about, where you have to think about your ideal customer, who you're looking for, who you're trying to attract. Figure out where they are hanging out. Are they on Facebook? Are they on Instagram? Or are they perusing YouTube videos? Are they on Pinterest? So you have to understand like where your audience is and be there and be a master in that space. So for example, my top two is literally my Facebook personal page and my Instagram. I do have a Facebook like page. I do have YouTube videos, but I'm not actively trying to build a real following on those. I just have them. So pick two, dabble in others. I also want you guys to think of getting a new perspective of social media. Before you're a coach, I'm assuming if you've had like a Facebook personal page, you don't really have an objective or a purpose of having a Facebook personal page other than updating your friends and your family. So you might have been posting, pictures of your cousin's friend's wedding, or like what you did on Saturday night, and you just said, oh, I went to karaoke night, and that's it. You have to start thinking of getting a new perspective, because as you start funneling these people into your Facebook or your Instagram, people don't know you the way your friends and your family know you. So before you were a Beachbody coach, you were just updating your friends and family. Now you have to start thinking about updating your market, your cold market, your warm market. You need to have people to get to know you. So it feels weird at first, but you have to start reminding people of who you are. So, just like as an example, Lindsay Matway, she constantly reminds people of her story because she is constantly funneling more people into her space, into her Facebook personal page. And she needs to inform these new prospects essentially of who she is, so that they can get to know her. And a theme that I'm going to use a lot today is, how can I get more eyeballs to check me out? So you have to think, strategy. Like, how are you going to get your Instagram followers to check you out further and go to your Facebook personal page? You have to think about where your landing page is. So essentially, where do you want to have the magic happen? Usually it's your Facebook personal page, because that's where the relationships are built. That's where people get to know all of you. That's where your invites and your posts for challenge groups and coaching opportunities happen. So usually that's your Facebook landing page. Facebook personal page. So how can you get your eyeballs from Instagram, from Pinterest, from YouTube to funnel in to your Facebook landing page, which is like your hub? You have to think about that and strategize on each platform, because each platform is different. And I'm not going into, any specific platforms. I do know a lot about Instagram, but this webinar is kind of a basic guideline of how you can build a tribe. And I just want to remind people, whether or not you are a new coach or an old coach, never post a Beachbody challenge sales page, because that just screams, I'm selling something. And no one really wants to go on social media to be sold. They are there for connection. So just remember that. Don't ever do that. Okay, so again, how do I get more eyeballs? So think about, some mindset tweaks, some things that you need to start thinking before you post content or post value to people. So some questions that you might want to ask in whatever platform that you're using. Am I providing value? Will strangers know me better? Will people want to share this with their friends? And am I writing as I talk? So always, always, always give value, give good content, and encourage engagement. So think about every single post. Is it inspiring someone? Is it motivating? Is it informing, educating, entertaining them? Just give them value that, shows gives them, something to get to know you more, or to learn about, what fitness program you're doing or whatever. Just give good value to people that people want to read. Okay. And does it allow strangers to know me better? Does it allow your market to get to know your story a little bit more? You don't have to write out a full-length story. Every little post, every little Facebook update can give some glimpse into your life. It doesn't have to be this entire story of how you started and how Beachbody has changed your life, and then have an invite to your challenge group. You can just do little snippets here and there. Just ease it in seamlessly into your social media. Well, people want to share this with their friends. And what that means is, you want to give value and you want to encourage engagement. So the only way you can, one way you can reach out to people is by having shares. And you have to think about, well, will my friends want to share this with their friends? So it has to be good enough in such a way so that, it makes them look good if they decide to share it or if they decide to post it for themselves. So you have to think about really good content, really good value. And am I writing as I talk? Which basically means, like, are you writing as, Lindsay Matway or Scotty Hobbs, or are you writing as, Corey or Crystal Perry? Sorry, I just saw your guys' names. But you have to think about, putting your personality into every single post so that you are not just duplicating another coach, because we tend to try to duplicate everything that the top coaches are doing. But when your voice isn't in your post, it just doesn't read. It doesn't relate to your market. And it's not you. It shows that you're, not being your genuine self. So just remember to write as you talk in every single post. So here's an example of an invite. Here's a hook, basically what I did. And so this term, jab, 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 right hook, comes from the book by Gary Vaynerchuk called Jab, 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 Right Hook. And the jabs are essentially content. So you are informing them, you're educating, you're inspiring, entertaining, whatever it is. And then my right hook is essentially my sale, or, my invite to a challenge group or a coaching opportunity. And so before I posted this challenge, this free challenge group, it wasn't a paid challenge group. Before I did that, I was posting that I felt bloated from incorporating dairy and gluten in my diet. I felt tired at work. I was posting some recipes, some paleo recipes that I was doing. And then I decided to post my 4-week free challenge group on Facebook. And I'm sure you guys have experienced this and still experience it, because I do as well. When you post an invite to a challenge group or a coach apprenticeship program, and you say, okay, it's out there, and I'm just going to wait. I'm going to sit back, and I am going to wait for the comments to roll in and the likes to happen and messages in my inbox, and then nothing happens, right? Tell me if you guys agree, because that definitely happens all the time, and it still does. And there's a couple of reasons why that will happen. Number one, you just have to remember the mindless scroll. So people are on their phone just looking at all the status updates, and they're really not paying too much attention. They might see the invite, but they'll just keep scrolling. Number two, only the people that are on Facebook at the time that you post will see that. Everything, Facebook is so quick, and there's so much that gets piled on top of each other that the people who might have been interested wouldn't have seen that invite. So the reason why I say and hook a bit more is because you need to remind people, or at least re-invite people into the challenge group. So a few weeks later, or a few days later, this was for a paid challenge group. I just updated my Facebook, and I said it's been 2 weeks of being 100% paleo. I talk about how it has changed everything, such as like my stomach is flatter, my skin is clearer, I'm less bloated. And then I remind people at the very end, if anyone wants to join this group that I have, I will be freely giving out all the pictures that I've been taking of exactly what I've been eating. If you guys want to be on this, hit me up and I'll send you the details. So, and I also include a captivating picture of an egg and an avocado. Like, that is genius. So I post that, and so I get, a few more people who are interested in the challenge group who might have never seen my previous invite, or if people were thinking about doing it but forgot and see this again, they'll hit me up. So that's just like something that I want to tell you guys is the jab, 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 right hook, but then you have to hook a bit more is what I suggest. So here's a tip on how to salvage content on multiple platforms. And what this basically means is if you have a blog, if you have Pinterest, if you have an Instagram and a like page, it's difficult and overwhelming to figure out how you can grow all of those platforms simultaneously without feeling stressed and overwhelmed. So I want to give you some kind of strategy so that you can populate those platforms that you don't really pay attention to, but you can still put content on there and slowly grow your other platforms. And you also have to remember that every platform is a funnel system. So you have to think wherever your landing page is, such as your Facebook personal page, that is the hub of where your magic happens. And all of these little places are funnels to get there. So how to salvage content on multiple platforms. So this is what I mean by that. I decided to take one content, which was my pumpkin spice banana pancakes. And since my personal Facebook page is my hub, I want to provide value and content, but I also want to encourage engagement. So what I do is I post a picture of my paleo pancakes and I say how good they were. And then I say, comment below if you want the recipe. So I encourage engagement. I get some likes on there. I get some people interested. And then I'm going to post the link and write a blog post about it. I'll post the recipe. I'll post the picture and the instructions on my blog post really quickly. Then I will get my Facebook followers to go to my blog, and they might, when they look at my blog, they might check out my tab on the coaching opportunity, or maybe they might check out my T25 testimonial and see my results, or they'll check out, a Shakeology recipe and get interested in that. So it's just a way to, get people to learn more about you, learn more about the services and products that we have, and, get them interested in us. So same thing with my Instagram. I decided to make a 15-second Instagram video just talking about how I made these paleo pancakes. I put the picture below, so it's like a split screen. And then I ask people if they want the recipe, they can go to my blog. So I have my Instagram followers who have been getting jabs this entire time of, some paleo recipes that I've been doing, and having them learn a little bit more about me. They're going to go check out my blog, and they're going to, see everything that I have to offer. And they might, end up going to my Facebook personal page and get to know me more. So it's all about, getting these people in different platforms and getting them all in one. Does this make sense? Does this help? You can also put this on your Pinterest. So just put the same picture on your Pinterest and link it back to your blog, or link it back to your Facebook personal page. Or if you are, let's say you have a Facebook Live page as well. You can just save this content and have it scheduled on your Facebook Live page a week later. So you can always, you know, pick and grab things and use them for different places on social media at different times. So you're always funneling and fueling your platforms with the same content. So yeah, and I think that's all I want to say with that. Okay. So same thing with like a T25, like for example, if you got awesome results with T25, you can post your before and after on Instagram. Say, you know, have an invite there and then transition them over to your Facebook like page or Facebook personal page. Then on your Facebook personal page, you can talk about how you can have like a mini video of you doing a T25 like a small little demo, and then you can get people interested. And so it just, yeah, I think you guys get it. Okay, so good. Yay, I'm glad. Okay, so time-saving best practices. This has really helped me, and I just started doing this fairly recently, but I created a social media calendar for myself. So I laid out Monday through Sunday and made like a little graph like you can see there. And every little bracket, morning, lunch, and dinner, I have something different that I want to post. So like on Tuesday, in the morning, I'll post a Tuesday transformation. And then during lunch, I'll provide a health and fitness tip. And then dinner, I don't even know what I wrote. I don't know. I'll talk about something personal for people to get to know me. What I do is I schedule my posts beforehand, and I'll write them all out so that I'm already set for the next day. So for example, on Monday night, I will do I'll have my picture ready. I'll have my post ready so that when morning comes along, when lunch comes along, when dinner comes along, I already have it saved in an email or like on my notes on my phone, and I'll just copy and paste and post it at that time. And it just makes it so much easier because I know we're all busy and we're all dealing with work or kids and all that stuff. And so you don't have to be a slave to your phone, because I would, you know, before I did this, I would be sitting there on my lunch break, and I would be like, oh my gosh, I have to create a post, but I don't know what to write about. I'm not inspired. I just don't know what to post. And then I don't know what I had posted before, so I don't want to saturate my Facebook. If I had posted all about Beachbody, I don't want to talk about Beachbody. So the prepping idea is a good idea to balance all of your posts out. Same with Instagram. You might want to write this down. But if you use Instagram, go to iconosquare.com, ICONO square.com, and it shows you the stats of when your audience is most engaged and most like people on Instagram at that time. So I recorded what times my audience is mostly on Instagram, and I'll post exactly at that time. I actually don't use a scheduling service for my Facebook personal page. I use Facebook scheduling with sendable.com for my challenge groups, or you can also use Hootsuite, but I don't schedule anything for my Facebook personal page. Yeah, okay. So if you want the honest truth on everything, with everything that I already said to you, you don't have time to do everything. And let's just make that clear, because there's just no time. We're all busy. We all want to get our message across on all these social media platforms, but we just don't have the time to do it. And I even don't have time to honestly spend a good amount of Beachbody time to salvage all my content on all my social media platforms. I'll do it, but it's not going to be you know, all at the same time like I want, just because it takes time, because I'm focusing on business building activities. So what I'm going to tell you is, you know, there's no time for this, but if you're at that point where you really want to get your business up and running and start attracting these eyeballs and get people into that funnel system to get to know you more, I think you guys should consider outsourcing. And I'm going to tell you that I just started outsourcing like a month ago. And I definitely didn't think I was ready for it, but I just gave it a go. I went to elance.com. You can also go to odesk.com. And I just decided to try it out. I just wanted to invest super, super cheaply. Like there was a girl that I hired for $5 an hour for 10 hours. So it's like $50 a week. And I just had her do the things that I just don't have time for. I ended up, as a result, started to focus more on what actually generates, you know, income, what generates business building activities. And that, you know, that is inviting, that is building relationships, that is, you know, creating your magic on your Facebook or your Instagram. And we just don't have time for everything as much as we would like. And you're not supposed to have all the time to do that. Beachbody gives us the freedom to, you know, have time with our friends and our family and all that stuff. But we shouldn't also be a slave to our business, because I started feeling like I couldn't do everything that I wanted to do, and I ended up feeling like a slave. But if you want your business to start working for you, you should maybe consider outsourcing. And this is what, you know, this is what everyone does. And it really helps. And for example, just this last month, I really had my virtual assistant do a lot of things that I just don't have time for. So that it allowed me freedom to start doing my business building activities. So I started getting on the phone more because I had more time to actually talk to people, build relationships. And my success rate was so much better. I'll on Facebook, if I'm just messaging them and inviting, I'll maybe get 1 yes out of 10 no's. This month was literally 8 yeses out of 10 no's, or 8 yeses out of 10 people, because I was able to have the time to talk to them on the phone when I didn't have time to do that, when I was trying to, you know, put everything on all my social media platforms. So I was able to really focus on what generates, you know, success in this business. But, you know, whether or not you are ready for outsourcing or not, there are some steps and actions that you can take to, you know, have more time for more business building activities. So if you take out a piece of paper and just create a T, separate these two ideas, these two questions, and just bullet point. On the left-hand side, what are business building activities only you can do? And on the right-hand side, what are business managing activities that you can delegate or take out? So I just put a few examples on there. What generates, you know, business and income and being able to, you know, make this a profitable business is talking to your prospects on the phone or creating magic. You know, that's, as Scotty says, he creates magic every day. So he posts he creates a YouTube video every single morning, or, you know, really putting time into your Facebook posts and building those relationships behind the scenes in your messages. Things that you can take out, maybe scheduling your posts, or finding pictures for your like page, or salvaging your content so that you can have it on all social media platforms. You don't have to do that, but it's something that you can take out and just focus on your business building activities. So I highly suggest you guys do that tonight. But just remember, no matter what, whether you want to try outsourcing or not, continue to focus on business building activities. you know, you might think that everything has to be perfect, or that you need to have the perfect website or have the perfect YouTube page or Pinterest or whatever, but that's really not true. You just have to, you know, focus on the two main social media platforms that you want to spread your message across, and just focus on those. Focus on your invites, and the social media strategies will come over time. I highly suggest you guys also work in seasons. For example, like this month, I focused a lot literally on inviting. So I used to make YouTube videos for my coaches. I was posting a lot on my Facebook Live page and really kind of putting good content on there, but I wanted to really focus on my invites. So I committed for this month to really focus on that. And then maybe next month, I'll start getting into how I can really increase my Instagram following. And then the next month, I can really figure out how I can start utilizing like SEO on my blog. So think about working in seasons, then just focus on one thing while you can kind of leave things on the back end. And so just remember, be an expert in two social media platforms rather than being mediocre in many. I also wanted to list some resources for you guys. That book that I talked about, Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk. Canva.com is the new PicMonkey. I am telling you guys, I just discovered it. It's a free and a paid site depending on what you use. But you can, if you don't want to outsource, this is a great idea. If you guys want to build or have like a really awesome Facebook cover or a really awesome Instagram post or a presentation. Like for example, this presentation was made on canva.com, and they have all these things to make it like look really cool. And I just made this really quick, but there's so many things on there. And if you want to use some of their more high-tech things, it's only $1. But you can really look professional without having to pay for outsourcing. PicMonkey.com is also just a website that you can use to, you know, make your pictures look really nice. Rona Designs and PicPlay Post are some iPhone apps that I use for my pictures and videos. All of this stuff I've been learning on Chalene Johnson's podcast called Build Your Tribe, which I've been listening to. If you guys really want to hone in on mastering social media, I highly recommend you guys listen to that, to all of her stuff. It's so great. And elance.com and odesk.com are the places where you can find outsourcing. So with all that said, I'm going to open up to questions. Do you guys have any questions for me? Oh, I know Jennifer said this, how not to vomit on Facebook. And I mean, like I said, think about each post is like a candy dropping on the street, and you're kind of like picking it up, and you know, you like what you see, and you provide a little bit of content and value to inspire them or educate them, and then give them a little bit more, you know, and then give them a little bit more candy. But you don't want to, you know, give them all this Halloween candy and make them vomit. So think about just, you know, teasing them a little bit, giving them a little slice of your life, but you don't have to splurge and vomit on like one single post. So that's what I recommend. But do you guys have any questions for me? Anyone? Yes, I will post a sample schedule that I use on my team page. Anyone else? Was this helpful, or was this a little bit more overwhelming? Because I really want to simplify it for you guys, and I hope I did, or at least gave you some ideas on how to tweak your approach. Are we good? Okay, awesome. Thank you guys so much for being on the call. If you guys have any more questions. Okay, how much time were you spending on social media when you first began? How much time is a reasonable amount? I feel like I'm on all the time. Well, okay, social media is, I mean, the biggest part of our business that we're we're doing social media the entire time. As far as like social media content versus inviting or, you know, building relationships, I think your main focus should be on the relationship building and the inviting, and then social media comes next. Obviously, the 3 vital behaviors are first, and then if you you know, spend time to research a little bit more on social media, then you can start using those practices over time. You just get better over time, just like you're inviting. I would say, I mean, focus on one social media platform or 2, and just focus on 1 or 2 and really like hone in on that. Like, figure out the top people who are on Instagram. And I also want to say this, you have to follow the right people on Instagram. There's so much that I want to talk about on Instagram, but I didn't want to have it on this call. But there's so much on Instagram, and you have to follow the right people to get the most eyeballs out of it. Just remember, it is not a second Facebook personal page. It is how you generate more eyeballs to get to your Facebook personal page. So you really have to think about branding yourself a little bit more, being a little bit more strategic, and finding a niche audience on there. Does anyone else have any questions? I will stop recording.